the newest pain point is volume. We don't want that much volume. We want relevant, high intent candidates. Most people are launching agents and then actually building it and deploying it. We've taken an approach where we've built everything, we've deployed it, we've got proof of points. I don't want to receive 200 applications. I want to receive 20 most high intent, relevant candidates who've gone through that first phase of knockout questions, first 6 minutes perhaps of a voice interview. Recruiters don't want to leave ATS. They want to stay where they create their jobs. It's okay to use AI to write a decent cover letter, but it's not okay to use AI to use every single keyword to show overfit for a particular job.
Right. This is George LaRock. Welcome back to WorkTech here at the HR Technology Conference. I'm excited to be recording 2 episodes here. It's sort of the epicenter of HR and work technology, and I'm thrilled to have Ritu Mohanka as my first guest today. Ritu, welcome.
Thank you, George. Thanks for having me.
So for listeners, literally, I never do a podcast where I actually have people sitting there listening. So that's exciting. But for everybody who will hear this once it's recorded and broadcast, tell everyone a little bit about yourself and, your background and what brought you here today.
Absolutely. So this is home, HR Tech. I've lived my entire career at HR Tech. I joined VONQ about 16 months ago as a CEO. Prior to VONQ, I was at LinkedIn. Went to LinkedIn with an acquisition of Glint. And prior to that, I was at Connexa, which is where really the whole world of hire to retire began. That vision of how do you look at an HR platform from very moment you meet a candidate to internal mobility. Stayed at Connexa for 10 years and got acquired by IBM. And now I'm loving my life at VONQ.
So this is a bit of like a homecoming or reunion for you, right? Does it take you 45 minutes to just get across 3 booths lengths here?
Absolutely, George. I have not been on time for a single meeting. That says it all. But every time I try to make it to the next meeting, I've seen 20 people and it's rude not to say hello.
Right.
But this does really feel like homecoming. The entire Connexa crew is somewhere on this floor.
Yeah. I was going to say Connexa is one of those companies that there's a lot of alumni.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, we're here at the show. Of course, we could just yell AI, agents, agentic, and all that, and that's all what I'm hearing here. But what are you seeing? What is anything standing out for you as you've been making your rounds here?
Absolutely. So exactly, AI, more in the screening. So I've seen more providers or vendors today in 2 hours who are focusing now on screening assessment at the top of the funnel. So that's one big, everyone's building that.
Yeah.
And second, around fraud detection. That's I picked up more and more people talking about, I'm building a solution for fraud detection. And again, that relates very much to the AI world. So that's unique. That's interesting to see so many people talking about that.
Yeah. And when you say, to that first topic, when you say assessment, are we talking about behavioral? Are we talking about skills or just the general assessment, of the interview?
Both.
Oh,
So both, you're seeing players in this space who are almost want to democratize through AI agents the whole screening process at the top of the funnel, but also adding different layers of assessment, whether it's skills testing, whether it's behavior and assessments, but really taking on to that market where the traditional world of assessments becomes almost, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, obsolete. And this whole agents really launched those different types of assessments. I think I must have heard 15 new players that I'd never heard of.
Oh, wow.
And particularly in the startup space, which you are.
Yeah. And most of them are from there. They're doing ranking and matching.
That's right. Exactly.
And so it's as always, as ever at this event, it's hard to tell what the differences are between, especially with the early stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now is when I look at VONQ and the and I'll come back to the other category you mentioned, but when I think about VONQ and the agents that you've released, um, and maybe we should drill down a little bit for everyone about what VONQ is.
Sure.
But you've put some agents out there, and I see screening there. I see it's a different kind of screening. But when I think about screening and assessment, I think about, what are the decision points? What are the topics or skills that need to be evaluated in order to move the candidate to the next point in the process? And you're definitely doing that. So tell everyone more about VONQ, what you were, and sort of where you're headed now.
Absolutely. So we very much started 18 years young, started as a recruitment advertising agency.
Yeah.
Very quickly on realized we need to have some technology to back that. Did an acquisition in the world of job posting, multi-posting. From there on, we've really evolved into a recruitment advertising platform. And, one of the biggest trends we're seeing right now in the industry is how do you move from point solutions to a platform play? And I think that's very much our focus now in terms of how do we help organizations seamlessly distribute jobs where it matters the most. So we connected to 5,000 global channels, government boards, social job boards, niche channels, so that we can really, really capture that global breadth and depth that organizations, large enterprise organizations require in terms of being able to post and find the right candidates. So that's absolutely the top of the funnel. How do we distribute jobs? We've also moved into the world of programmatic advertising, which is very much about moving away from this whole duration world to how do you programmatically apply your budgets to get the right outcomes, whether it's CPH, whether it's how speed to hire, whether it's quality, whether it's volume,
Right.
et cetera. And then now with our screening AI agents, we've taken a slightly different approach to the industry. Most people are launching agents and then actually building it and deploying it. We've taken an approach where we built everything, we've deployed it, we've got proof of points. Now we're doing a big launch in November to really tell the world why our agents are proprietary and differentiated to everybody else. The noise is just so much noise. Everyone's talking about AI. So that's where we truly differentiate.
So you're going to launch with results, not in the hope of results.
Exactly.
How unique of you. How
I don't know about that. I'd like to say it's unique and different, but we'll see.
Well, I think what is unique and different, so we talked about, you gave us a great, quick, high-level overview on the platform, but your model, I think, is as important in this conversation as the product itself.
Okay.
So you've got, you are global, and your two primary markets, as we've discussed before, would be, we'll say, Europe and North America. And you have a different model for each of those geographies. In Europe, you're selling directly,
Right.
and you have partners. But in North America, it's strictly a channels play for VONQ. And you've created this marketplace,
Right.
integrated with dozens of hiring platforms where employers can access all of those capabilities that you mentioned. They might not even realize that they're using VONQ when you're saying it.
Exactly.
That's a channel strategy realized that I'm not aware of many of those.
No, again, that's unique. That's absolutely unique. And it's more than channel. I think of this as an infrastructure play, George. We want to be where the recruiters are.
Yeah.
Recruiters don't want to leave ATS. They want to stay where they create their jobs.
Yeah.
And what we've done is we've embedded natively our job posting, multi-posting solution into all of those ATSs or HCM platform so that when a recruiter is creating job, they're not going, oh, now I have to leave my platform, go somewhere else, find a way to post a job. Or, by the way, I need to buy a social campaign, or I want to buy a job board.
Yep.
Oh, right there. The marketplace allows me to do both that, allows me to buy a LinkedIn posting, and I can automatically, seamlessly post my job. And I think that's what we want to create is the unique. So it's really about recruiter enablement. And we talked earlier about experience. It's about creating that experience for the recruiters and actually for candidates where it becomes seamless and it becomes in their flow of work.
Right. Now in your platform with these, if I understand the agents correctly, when they apply their budget, purchase that LinkedIn posting, in fact, you've announced they're one of the first key partners they're also getting those candidates are going through a screening, so they're not getting back 1,000 unvetted candidates. They're getting back candidates who have gone through a process. Are they located in the right place? Do they have the right experience, etc.? And even scheduling. Okay.
Yeah. So, George, the funny thing is it's ironic. We spend years helping our customers get volume. So how much, and now the biggest pain point, the newest pain point is volume. We don't want that much volume. We want relevant, high intent candidates. And that's exactly what we've done with our CPA Plus launch. LinkedIn's been our first partner where we launched a CPA Plus cost per application plus product in those happy marketplaces. Employ being our first North American partner there. Where what it means for a recruiter is I'm going to buy this LinkedIn slot, not just for posting it on LinkedIn, but I don't want to receive 200 applications. I want to receive 20 the most high intent, relevant candidates who've gone through that first phase of knockout questions, first 6 minutes perhaps of a voice interview. And now I have those 20 dossiers right in my ATS where I can see I'm going to spend most of my time hiring those, if it makes sense, if I want to take them to the next stage.
Yeah.
I think that's a unique model again. And you've heard unique 3 times from me today. So I think we want to constantly differentiate and sort of create the best experience for both recruiters and candidates.
Right. And so you're here, you're not exhibiting, you're here with your partners, you're here because you really aren't selling anything directly.
Right. That's exactly right. We think the power of multiplication happens here with all our partners. Every single one of our partners who we partner with from our hiring API is here. And we're taking this opportunity to just understand where they're going in their strategy. How do we double down further in terms of features? And one of the newest features as a result of that we're going to be launching soon. And this is work we've done with our direct customers, enterprise customers in the space of how do you detect AI usage when candidates apply or when they go through the screening or when they're doing a chat interview, or when they're doing a voice interview. It's okay to use AI to write a decent cover letter, but it's not okay to use AI to use every single keyword to show overfit for a particular job.
Right.
And I think that's where we're beginning to say, I've just done a new word. We're not going to use flags. We're going to say signals. And within that dossier that a recruiter gets, he or she can see where are the signals where this candidate has used AI. And I think I think it's going to be pretty interesting for then the recruiters to say, okay, this makes sense. They've written a cover letter, but if they are doing a voice screening and copy pasting on a chat, then you can't copy paste that fast. So you're using AI to even answer questions.
Yeah.
That's troublesome. So we'll be able to find those signals for the recruiters.
Yeah. And that's the other category that you mentioned that you're seeing is sort of fraud detection. Yeah, and I've seen a couple involved in most of my time here so far has been around the Pitch Fest and the startup stuff. And I've seen some plays that it's interesting because they're using AI and basically selling against AI.
Right. Right.
But it's certainly it's a major issue.
Absolutely.
And I'm seeing a few of the platforms are starting to talk about it. But I haven't seen, I know, Greenhouse put something out with Clear. That was the beginning of their path around fraud. It makes sense to me that vendors like VONQ would be in you have that top of the funnel, you could be screening that for that. I think it's going to take everybody being diligent. But
absolutely,
there's an opportunity there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, we only have 1 minute left. How can folks find VONQ? How can they engage with VONQ? What's the best way?
Best way to find us is on LinkedIn, actually. Either follow our page at VONQ or actually follow our CTPO, Bill Fisher. We build in public. We talk about it. We ask for advice, feedback, both from customers, non-customers, and the likes of analysts and advisors. So find us on LinkedIn. Do connect with me on LinkedIn, but also with our CTPO, Bill Fisher.
Yeah, I have to say I applaud you and I applaud Bill for doing that, but I applaud you and VONQ for embracing that because that's transparency. I don't see any other CTOs building in public in our space.
Indeed, yes, transparency and trust.
Yeah. Great. Well, Ritu, thanks for doing this. I know you have a busy schedule. We've got another guest coming up in this HR Tech series, and I can't wait to catch up and find out how the agents are working for you out there.
Thank you, George. Thank you for having me.
Take care.